Hey there, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to dive right in here. Sex workers with HIV can be branded as violent sex offenders, but the Justice Department is suing to change all of that. Now, here we go. Prostitution is typically classified as a misdemeanor in Tennessee. But under the state's abrogated prostitution law, a person living with HIV who is charged with prostitution must register as a violent sex offender for the rest of their life, regardless of if they're using safety measures such as condoms or antiretroviral drugs being undetectable. When I think of a violent sex offender, my mind does not go towards a sex worker. What do you think? So what does it mean to be a violent sex offender being on the list? They must report quarterly. They cannot leave the city or state. The rules would be set up according to a case-by-case state basis. I believe you can look up online, and there's a map, and it shows like a dot without their name or anything, but where they live around your area, which might cause problems. I don't know. Now imagine trying to get a legit job, getting a rental apartment. I mean, they do background checks. Good luck. I mean, it must prove difficult. This is an outdated law back in 1991, and things were much different back then. I mean, if you got HIV, it was considered a death sentence. There was no ART, which is antiretroviral therapy, available, so basically that was that. There was not much options out there. So the DOJ, which is the Justice Department, is suing the state to not only stop enforcing the law, but also to remove the convicted under the sex law, sex offenders registries, and nil and void their convictions. People living with HIV should not be faced with a different system of justice based on, I'd say, science and assumptions. So here are some stats. Memphis has the third highest HIV infection rates. There are about 154 sex offender registry with an HIV conviction. Women made up about 46%, while black people made about 75%. Now, this is glaring to me, the divide in society of gender and racial, economic gap, really. It needs to change, and clearly here, it seems it has not. The second lawsuit was from Out Memphis, which is an LGBTQ plus health and advocacy organization. So, the Justice Department and Out Memphis lawsuits both detail the story of an unnamed black transgender woman who was arrested by an undercover officer who propositioned her and a friend in Memphis. She first learned she was HIV positive in 2008 and was convicted on an aggravated prostitution charge in 2012. Because of state law, she was required to register as a sex offender, which caused her to lose several job offers, which she experienced homelessness while having difficulty finding affordable housing that complied with registry requirements. So my take on this, assume the risk. If you're going to seek a sex worker, you have options. You can use a condom, take PrEP. I mean, this law should have been changed many years ago, and it's been over 30 years. It can be avoided much easier. And why should it be put on the sex worker? I mean, you know what you're getting into. Now, I would hope the sex worker would take care of their own body and health and be undetectable. Everybody has their own unique story and how and why they got here where they are today. Please feel free to leave a comment below about this story or anything about this video. I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell if you haven't already. Until next time, Michael K here. Take care, everyone.